Hey YouTube, this is going to be my Ovacue fertility monitor review. I'm going to make this review two parts. This first part is going to be telling you just kind of how the fertility monitor works, what you do with it, and then I'm going to make a second part where I show you one month's worth of my data and kind of analyze it for you, go through and tell you how you analyze your information. So this is just going to be an overview of the fertility monitor for this part. So here's what it looks like. Here's the Ovacue fertility monitor with the oral sensor. This right here is $249, and then I also have the vaginal sensor, which is $100 alone, or you can get these both together as a bundle package for $329. Yes, that seems really expensive. It is, I know, but it's amazing how this thing works, and it's worth every penny. So, most people use this when they are trying to conceive, but as Thomas and I are also natural family planners, we do not use a hormonal birth control or anything like that. This monitor really works well for natural family planning as well, because it kind of tells me when my fertile window is and when to use protection or something like that to prevent a pregnancy. So it's not marketed for that, it's not really suggested to be used for that, but that's kind of what we've been using it for. But mainly it's for people trying to conceive. And I highly suggest getting both the oral and the vaginal sensor. The vaginal sensor is optional, but I think for me personally that this thing would be useless if I didn't have the vaginal sensor. I get a lot of my information from the vaginal reading. I find it's a little more helpful to me than just using this. So I highly suggest, to get all the benefits that the fertility monitor offers, to get both of them. Now, you're probably wondering how this works, so here it is. Here's what it looks like. If you turn it on, we'll turn it on. It'll pop up with your calendar. If you've already been putting information in, you might have some colored days on this calendar. If it's your first time ever using it, then it'll be completely white. So what you do, you start using this on cycle day 2 of your cycle. So say this is cycle day 2, I would wake up in the morning before I brushed my teeth, before I took a drink of water, before I ate anything, before I put anything in my mouth. Within a half hour of getting up, you want to take your oral reading really fast. So all you do is, there's an O button and a V button. The O button is for oral, and the V button is for vaginal. So you'll hit the oral button, and then it will come up with the date, the cycle day number that you're on. I'm currently on cycle day 12. And then it'll say connect and place your sensor, which I already have it connected. You just, plug it in right here, and then place your sensor. What I would do is you just sit it on your tongue. So you just sit it on the tip of your tongue where these 3 little sensors are placed on your tongue. So you do that, and then you hit next, and then it will take your reading really fast, and it takes like 5 seconds. It's really fast. I would show you taking my reading, but I've already taken it for today since I've been up for a while and I've ate breakfast and things. So I've already taken my oral reading for today. So you take your reading on cycle day 2. You start on cycle day 2, and then you continue to take your oral reading, and then once your period has ended, which for me, I end on like cycle day 6 is usually when my period ends. Some people it's a few days before that or a few days after that. So on cycle day 7, once my period is over, then you start using the vaginal sensor. So you start using the vaginal sensor as soon as you stop bleeding. So what you do with that, instead of taking it in the morning, you actually, it's best to take it in the evening. So I take it in the evening around like 5 or 6 o'clock, and it's kind of just the same ordeal. You'll place your vaginal sensor in here, you'll hit the V button for vaginal, and it'll bring up the same screen, and it'll say connect and place your sensor. I connected it, and what you do with the vaginal sensor is you insert it into your vagina, and you kind of insert it in until you feel it reach your cervix, and then once it reaches your cervix, you kind of pull back like a half of an inch, and then you tilt it up this way. So this is going, the handlebar is going upward a little bit. That way it kind of allows the sensor to sit in the pool of cervical mucus at the bottom. So that's what you do, and it takes like 5 seconds, and then once you have your reading, you pull it out, clean it off, and you're good to go. So you do that in the evening, and then you do your oral reading in the mornings. Based on your readings, it'll give you a calendar, and it will show you when your fertile days are. So here's my last cycle, so you can kind of see what my color days were. So there is a color code on here that kind of tells you, you know, blue is high fertility, pink is your ovulation day, things like that. So the days, it color codes a calendar for you so you know just exactly how fertile you are that day. The manual, which I highly suggest once you get your Ovacue monitor, that you spend some time and read the manual, because it lays out everything in here for you. It tells you exactly what you need to do, and there's a lot of good information in this, and it's pretty thorough, so it's definitely worth reading. And then I wanted to quickly show you, here is the color code that you'll see on your calendar that kind of tells you what days are what. So you'll have white is a not fertile day, light blue is possibly fertile, medium blue is high fertility, which is a good day for intercourse if you're trying to conceive, or a good day to prevent intercourse if you're not trying to conceive. Dark blue is the highest fertility, pink is ovulation. So there's, you'll have a color code in your manual. When I first started using this thing, I really was not good with interpreting my results and my numbers and things like that, and I felt like my numbers were really scattered and they weren't like the textbook Ovacue numbers, which is fine. Every woman has a different numbers. So that's when, you know, you can email the Ovacue ladies, and they are really awesome. They can get back with you and help you interpret your results, so you're not having to try to figure all this out on your own, and you get really fast responses. And they have helped me so much with, you know, getting the hang of using my monitor, interpreting my results, and, you know, kind of helping me out with tips and tricks and things like that. So that's how it works in a nutshell. And then also, in addition to this, you can go to ovacue.com, and there's a whole bunch of other information that you can read up on the Ovacue, how it works, and frequently asked questions and things like that. There's all kinds of stuff on their website. And also, you can go to ovagraph.com, and it's a free website where you can put in all your information into this website and keep all your information there. Anybody you want to share your information with, you can send it, you can just send them the link, and then they can see all of your information. It's right there on the computer, nice and neat. And that's the way that I have been sharing my results with people from Ovacue, to help them interpret my results.